All right. So today we are going to be tying some brown trout October streamers. Uh, Brown trout typically in October are pretty aggressive fish. So I mean, I don't know. In my eyes, in my experience, most times if it's a streamer and it's swimming pretty well, most times they're going to hit it. It doesn't really matter what it looks like to say. Um, you have your typical woolly bugger variations. You could do you could use a bigger, let's say, Mickey Finn variation, all the way to I've even used bunny muddler variations, bigger flies. I've gotten smaller trout even on that, targeting bigger trout. Um, you know, this is more of a I want to say like a small, looks like a small minnow almost. Yeah, a minnow would be a good way to categorize it. You know, brown trout are very, very, very difficult fish to catch, in my opinion at least, or in my experience. Um, Very, very spooked. They get spooked very easily. Um, you know, they're pretty smart, at least the bigger ones, from what I've learned. The bigger ones are pretty smart, so you usually need something that looks pretty real if you're going for big, big, big fish. Because I've had big ones follow a fly that's not that pretty, which I've caught lots of fish on. But once he gets close enough to it and sees it, and it doesn't look that real to him, he will not hit anything else for the rest of the day because he knows that there's something in the river that shouldn't be, and he's that big for a reason. He's not that big. He doesn't just get that big. He doesn't get caught a lot. So adjusting the camera here. All right. So to start off, we're going to use a size 8 streamer. Came with the put it closer to the camera. Came with the my fly tying kit that I bought. I don't have many left. I only got 2 left. Really good. I mean, I've never broken a hook. Some people might say that the kits kind of suck. Some of the material does, I will say. Like I've bought in different material, and it's definitely made an improvement. But I mean, it's your choice. It's all preference. Oh, light just went. All right, so we're gonna start off by putting on some black. Oh, I should probably show you what thread I'm using. Semperfly, pretty basic. Nano silk, usually the black. I mean, I find brown trout prefer black or yellow patterns, darker patterns. You can throw green if you'd like. Depends how dark it is. If it's bright out, you don't want to throw anything that looks a little abnormal to the river, let's say. Let's get this thread on. Sorry, I'm not easy to do with this GoPro right there, but make it work because I want to show you guys how easy this fly is to tie and how effective it can be if you use it right. Alright, so you got your black thread on. So now what I usually use, well, I'm getting low on this, but black marabou works really well. Kind of stuff you just kind of want to grab a decent amount. You don't need too much. Say that much. Well, depends how big you want your fly to be. I usually like to do it the length of the fly, and I kind of use the parts that aren't gonna, swim, like drag and swim. Use it more so to bulk up the fly to give it a bit of a body. So we're going to take a little bit of this marabou and see how I see, because you don't want it, I find with it. Oh, that's not good. Lost a fair amount. Go back on. Sec here. what I find best to do is this here. Build it up to the body. So you want to do some light. You want to do two very, very light ones and then pull. See how it wraps? Hold it and wrap it. Form the body of a fly. Give it a little more bulk. That's just going to kind of swim there, right? So you can use, like I've used these. I ran out of black, so I can't use any black. I prefer to use black, but I find this works really well as well. It gives it a little bit of a shine with if you put a black top, the peacock substitute. It's almost like chenille, string-like. So you just want to cut off. See there, chenille. You just want to cut off just a little bit. About that much. About that much. Then what you want to do, put it there. Make sure it gets in there. Wrap it a few times to make sure it's on. Now the chenille is attached, or the peacock substitute, I should say. Now what you want to do, actually, what you want to do is bring this to the front, keep it away from the substitute, and then build a body with the substitute. Right? Just keep wrapping it. Make it even. Give it more of a realistic body like. Alright. Keep going. Keep going. Till you get to about there, and then you want to take it and wrap it. Wrap it. Alright. We're going to get rid of that. So your fly is now looking like this, or it should at least, something along these lines, right? So now, this is going to be a little controversial for some people at least, who swear by the head cement. Now, I personally, I've used it, and I think it's good, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't seem to keep my flies, at least, together. I don't know if I'm not using the right stuff, but I use all-purpose crazy glue to just to kind of keep everything together without it, like, because, like, I don't know, I've had flies where I use, well, we're not really talking about a pickerel fly, but I've had flies that have been smoked by pickerel and like fish with like more carnivorous fish, and my fly gets absolutely destroyed. But I've caught them with flies that I've now tied with the crazy glue, and the flies seem to stay together. I don't know if it's like just the type of flies that I was using before or what it was, but either way, it's just my preference. You don't have to. I like making sure that nothing's going to go wrong, because there's nothing worse than getting to a river and fishing for hours with a fly that works really well, and then either losing that fly or it starts to like kind of fall apart and doesn't look as good and stops working. So I don't know, it's just my preference. You don't really have to do it, but either way. So the next step, we're going to grab some rabbit zonker strips. Sorry. Rabbit, yeah, I said that right. What am I saying? Yeah. Anyway, so it's called rabbit zonker strips. They're really, really swimmy. You can see it has like a, almost like a foam, not a foam, almost like a skin per se. And when it gets wet, this kind of like, it wiggles like really, really well. So you want to cut a piece that's roughly the same size as your fly, give or take. a nice piece. And now what you want to do, that's what I like to do, give it the best swim. You keep it on the best. You can see that there, it's like a square. You want to cut either end, cut either corner, so it makes like almost like an arrow. But it's not looking really good right now. My scissors don't want to cut right now. Yeah, like that. So you want to try to make it like that, where it's got like a point almost, right? There we go, now you can see it better. See how it's got like a point? So what you want to do is take that point, put it right by the eye of the hook. See, that's right by the eye of the hook. So you want to put it there, kind of pull this stuff back. And you want to take it and just lightly go over it, but you do have to get it on there now so it will hook like that. And then you can just keep wrapping around that. Right? That's already looking pretty good. So that's what our streamer looks like so far. Now here's where the crazy glue, in my opinion at least, definitely makes these flies how good they are. So what you want to do is basically take your crazy glue, right? Mine has like the brush. I find that works really well, especially for tying flies. Lift this up and halfway, not all the way. If you do all the way, it's not going to swim as much. If you do halfway like that, see how, I'll kind of point at it. See how back here, there's no, well, you can't really see, it's kind of hard to see, but there's no glue on the back part. You only want to do it on the front part. So then when you do push down and kind of lock that in to that glue, push it down, make sure it's on there. Because this crazy glue does dry pretty fast. Learned that the hard way with my fingers. But yeah. See how half it's there, and then this back here is still going to be able to, like, see back here, that's still going to be able to swim like that, back and forth, and that's what, in my opinion, makes trout go absolutely wild. That's kind of the key to this fly, those rabbit zonker strips. It's almost like a, similar to like a leech, egg sucking leech kind of thing, in a way. When that gets wet, that's going to look nice. So now what you want to do is your typical quick knot. Back this up, loop, put it around, hold it, tighten it. I usually do 2 or 3. I find the third one kind of sucks usually. Make sure to pull them tight. Make sure to keep it tight. And then what we're gonna do, what we're gonna do is put that there, pull up. It's the third one. Where are my scissors? In here. Quick snip. That was a good one. It didn't come out. That's good. So now I usually take my crazy glue and just go along where it was. Right? Give it a little taste. Now, some people think that fly's good and ready to go, which it is. And you could fish it, and you could probably get fish on it because it's got that back tail like that. It swims really well. But I find, this is just from experience recently, fishing the rivers that I've been fishing for brown trout. I find that googly eyes work really well. Put in the light so you can see them. Any size. I kind of like the jumbo ones. Well, they're not jumbo, but like for the size of the fly that I tie, they're pretty big. I'll bring this closer so you can see what's going on. Oh, that's not good. There we go. Alright. So, take our crazy glue again. What we're gonna do is soak this side. Soak the left or the right side first. Well, it doesn't really matter, you can do either. Make sure it's real wet. Then grab a little eye and push up against it. Make sure it's on. See that? It's on. A really handy tool. It comes with most tiny kits. I don't know what it's actually used for, but I usually use it to put it in the eye when I use the crazy glue. Now we're going to do it on the other side. Exact same thing, repeat. Nice glob of crazy glue. Quickly, well, not quickly, but try not to be slow with it. Oh, I completely missed. Put my thumb in it. It's not good. I usually like to grab both eyes and kind of squeeze them. And then that's not going to stay. Like if you leave that like that, that's not going to stay that well. The key to getting this to stick is putting a glob on top to kind of almost, like you're almost, depends what river you're fishing, you got to check the rules. But I'm allowed to use these at this river, I checked. It depends. Sometimes I've tied the exact same fly twice. One of them will float and one of them will sink. Now I don't know, this one I'm going to try to put a pretty big head on it, like try to get it some weight so that it does sink somewhat, because I found the last one I tied floated too much. And sometimes these big brown trout are sitting in pools where they're not going to come up. So that's what the fly looks like. Really, really nice, in my opinion. Works really well. Just gonna let that glue dry. And, yeah. Good fishing. Your best bet for using this, at least with my experience, some tips, brown trout. I tend to fish very, very early in the morning. Best times to fish brown trout are usually, I want to say, probably about 6:30 till about 7:45, because it's still relatively dark. Depends what time of the year it is, at least right now in October. It's dark when I get to the river, which is good, because then the trout can't see me, which is always a plus. But, I know people, like a few of my buddies, have caught 25, 20-inch brown trout out of Barney's River during the day, so I don't know. It's, again, like I said, they are weird fish, so you never really know. But, yeah, either way, thanks again for watching. Hope you liked the video. Trying to get more content as soon as I can. I did just get this GoPro. The channel is relatively new. But either way, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.